How's it going, YouTube? And welcome back to another video. Um, I haven't done a podcast video in a few months, so this feels weird, and I might sound super awkward because I just haven't done it in a while. And I'm already awkward, so like not doing it in a while and coming back to it is gonna feel even more awkward. But I was watching a podcast video on YouTube, and I recently discovered them. They're called Makdisi Street. I had heard about them from multiple people, but then my friend told me about them, and it made me want to watch them like right away. So I just watched a video of theirs, and I loved it, and it just kind of inspired me, and it reminded me of like the beauty of conversation and podcasting and all that. And I decided to do a video because I'm in Lebanon right now, and I'm at the house by myself, and I realize like I'm rarely getting like a second to just be by myself. So today is one of those days where I decided I don't want to go out or do anything because I feel so tired and drained. And because I'm at the house by myself, I realized I could probably do a podcast video. So here I am doing a podcast video. I want to share some life updates, and then I want to get into my thoughts about YouTube and why I do YouTube and what my goals are with YouTube. So that's kind of my thought process with this video. I don't know if I'm gonna wiggle waggle, go here and there, and not stick to my point, but we'll see. Basically, life updates. Last time I did a podcast video, I was in America, United States of America, the place that I went to for university. I went to UNC Pembroke in Pembroke, North Carolina. And I was there I've been there for the past 2 years. And it's kind of weird being in Lebanon because it's like people ask you like, oh, like how was America? And it's just kind of like one of those quick conversations, and you kind of just have to summarize your whole experience of being there the past 2 years into like a few words, and you really don't know what to say. Like you want to tell them it's good, but they have no idea what the struggle is like. They have no idea that like you spent like maybe more nights crying than not crying. And it's kind of like, how do I summarize that into like one sentence, right? How do I tell them about the amazing friends I met who changed my life? So I'm kind of like, yeah, I struggled a bit in the beginning, but then I got the hang of it. But that's basically what I say, and then I go like, wait, I forgot. Oh yeah, and then I go like, I have moments, I have moments where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing or why I'm here, but I'm just here. It's hard to summarize it, and it's also like whenever you're done with the academics and you're in summer vacation, you really like don't see the bad about that experience. You just see it as like, wow, that was such a good thing for me because it helped me grow so much. You don't see it as I wanted to leave every single day. There was a time where I wanted to leave every single day, and then there was a moment where I felt like I got so used to it that I can't be anywhere else. So it's really weird. But I guess that's the experience of somebody moving abroad and for their studies and whatever. Um, but if I were to say my experience right now in this video, I would say no matter how good the good things were, and no matter how much I tried to practice a positive mentality of like, I am meant to be here, the people I met, I wouldn't have met them anywhere else, like there's a reason why I'm here. No matter how much I say those things, of course there's a part of me that's always like, what if I was in a bigger university, right? And part of it becomes like self-blaming, like, why didn't I work harder to end up in a bigger university? And I feel like over there, everybody I spoke to had that same thing in their mind of like, we're just here because it's cheap. We're here to get the degree and get the fuck out of here. Um, it's a very small university, and it's so nice that it's small. Like it has its benefits for sure, but it also has its negatives and its disadvantages. And being there without a car, or at least even being there without another house that you go to, like a family house, is suffocating. And I come from a city. I'm a Beirut girl. Yes, I'm from the south of Lebanon. I come from a village technically, but I never lived in the village. I lived in the city. So I'm a city girl. When I go to Europe, I go London, you know? I mean, I go cities usually. And Europe is like you can't even compare it to America. But I mean, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is when you go from Beirut to Pembroke is just like it's not for the weak because Pembroke is kind of like a village, but America version of a village in comparison to Lebanon version. Um, when I tell you like you need a car, like you need a car. Like there's there's a Dunkin', there's a Starbucks, there's a Burger King, Slim Chickens, KFC, McDonald's, like a bunch of fast food places all around. I'm not used to that. I'm really not. I need like a cute little local coffee shop where I can just sit and get a croissant if I wanted to, get like a little pick me up salad if I wanted to, something fresh. You know, something that has vegetables in it that actually taste like vegetables. You don't really get that there. And even if you do want to go to these fast food places, most likely you need a car. I was able to walk, but like even the walk isn't really that great. It's not really a walkable walk, but it's like I was going to Dunkin' literally every day just to like get that sense of like I can walk somewhere, you know? And then Walmart is like a 20-minute drive. Going to a bus station, that's not even a safe option, by the way. But if you were to go to a bus station, to take a bus or a train, you need to drive out of the town to go. So to me, it was a struggle. That in of itself was the biggest struggle. And you might be wondering, why didn't you get a driver's license? Why didn't you drive a car? You're absolutely right. Um, when I went there, I didn't drive. And then I took some driving lessons in Lebanon, and then I went there again. And I was like, okay, I'm prepared to drive, but I need to know the rules and this. I need to do the writing test because it's really important. So I did the computer test or the writing test or whatever, and I failed it. And that was basically only about science. And something about me is that I fucking hate exams, tests, standardized tests. I'm really bad at them. That's kind of why I messed up academically in my high school years. I I tried to look at the manual and study it, did not go through. Like it just genuinely didn't go through. And I failed it the first time, and everybody's like, "Yeah, it's okay. Like you just got to do it again." I didn't feel motivated enough to do it again because going there was such a hassle. Like, I needed to find a time that was good for me between all my classes, that was also good for my friend who was gonna drive me there. So it was always like such a hassle. And I tried studying it again and I put in my mind that I wanted to do it again, but that whole semester I never went again to the DMV. So I just ended up not getting a driver's license. But honestly, if I wanted it badly enough, I would have worked harder. I blame myself on that regard. I didn't work hard enough for the driver's license. I never had anybody on my ass like, you need to get a driver's license. Like, I was just kind of like, I don't know. That was my own fault. But hopefully one day. And what's it called? I would say I would say I'm so grateful that I went because despite all these struggles, the professors that I met and the kind of relationship that you have with professors there is like something that I can't even put into words, just because of how amazing it is. It was there where I realized my love for English and wanting to do English, as my major. And from the support of my professors. You know, like I had to speak with them because I wanted to switch my major from psychology to English. So it's so easy to just like knock on a professor's door and sit there and have a conversation. Like something that I never had in Lebanon is that kind of relationship with instructors or whatever, teachers or professors. But yeah, it's like they treat you like an equal, like a friend. Like there's no like superior or inferior. And for some reason I always felt that in Lebanon. I always felt like I had to like beg on my knees just to speak with a teacher to get some advice, you know? I don't know why it's felt that way, but that was just my experience. Um but yeah, I don't want to keep talking about that. The point that I'm trying to get to is, despite all these amazing things, you always think, oh, there's a university 2 hours down the road that is like genuinely the American experience. It's a big university in a city, and if I could have that, I would be happier. There's always that thought on my mind. And it's like every person that I speak to, um, from like Lebanon, or people who like I meet casually like on the internet, or like people who are on YouTube and stuff, who go to like a university in America or in the UK, they always and they're like originally from a different country. They always are in a big university. Like genuinely everybody I met outside of that university I did go to, they always tell me about they went to like NYU or like I don't know, like big university like UCLA, like blah blah. Everybody's talking about that, you know? Your friends who you graduated with, they're all in bigger universities, and it's like you're always wondering like why did I not get that experience? But being in a school like that makes you realize how little that matters. Um and it's just like you just learn to be grateful. I don't know. I I uh I couldn't find the right answer, but truly you have to believe that you are meant to be in that place and that just by you being there is enough. So, yeah, and then there's also the fact that like if you were in that big university, you're not going to get this close with your professors. You might not even have this many friends. I had a huge group of friends, and it was just so beautiful because I was surrounded with friends every single day. I never felt like I didn't have somebody right by my side, and those friends turned into family. I was living with them for a month, and I never saw myself living with my friends. Like that's that's something I never saw myself doing, but for some reason with them it felt so easy, and it was such a beautiful experience. Even though we were all so different, we were all also so similar at the same time. So I don't know. It's like you don't know what your experience is going to be like in that big university, so why keep wanting something that you don't even know what it's like. And you kind of learn that the hard way because you go through that small university experience. But for me, it got to a point where I genuinely wanted like a new challenge. I wanted to experience something else. Um, and I don't know. I'm going through that process right now of experiencing something else, and I'm not even sure if I'm making the right decision. But I can't like I can't back down now because I'm already almost there. But basically, we have a study abroad program thing, and it's just funny that it's called study abroad because me being in America is me studying abroad. But this is a study abroad for students in America, so it's like for me it's like a double study abroad. But basically, I'm doing an exchange, and I'm gonna do a year of university in Northern Ireland, UK. So, why? Like, why am I doing all that? You might be wondering. I always wanted to live in the UK for a little bit. I always wanted to see what it's like. And actually, the day that I landed in the US for university, I was like, fuck, I should have went to the UK. Just because I'm more familiar with the UK, at least I was more familiar because my brother lives there, so I would always go. And it feels more like it feels closer in the way that it is to Beirut. Like at least with London, London is a city, Beirut is a city. So to me, it felt easier to navigate than being in America. Um, so I always wanted to go to the UK. So I was like, let me see a way that I can go without like paying too much money. Although I do have to end up paying a lot of money. But the exchange thing makes it slightly easier than transferring. So I'm gonna exchange for that whole year. And right now I'm in the process of applying for my visa. I got the acceptance and everything. I'm just applying for my visa. And boy has it been stressful. Boy has it been a long ass complicated ass process. And it's way more money than I expected. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And of course, I have these little voices in my head that are like, is this worth it? Like, why am I doing this? Like, if I'm already in the States, then why don't I just continue being in the States for the next 2 years and just, fuck it, Like, why am I making like this detour, this side quest that's causing so much stress, and it's adding so much more onto a plate that's already full? Like, why? Like, is it worth it to just want to experience something different? Is it worth it to go through all that? And it's like, I'm the one who made this decision, right? Nobody forced me, nobody told me to do this. I decided. And it's like, it's kind of this weird thing because you decide to do something and it requires so much out of you, and you don't even know what that thing is. I don't know what that experience in the UK is going to be like. So I'm doing all this for something that is so uncertain, is something that I don't even know like what it is. But maybe it's that curiosity of me not knowing what it is that makes me want to do it more. And I truly believe that like um these kinds of experiences teach us a lot. And to me, the way that I saw it is, if there's a way for me to be in a university in a different country while I'm already in a different country, then fuck it, let me do it. That's how I saw it. Like, to me, it felt so, for sure I want to do this. But now that I'm in it, it feels so complicated, and this visa thing is gonna take so much money out of me. It was like the first time that I made money out of an internship, and all that money that I made, I have to put into this visa, and I still need more. So it's like so weird. I still think that once I'm there, um, I'm gonna understand what it all meant. Kind of the same with Pembroke. It's like I was going through so much stress the summer before going to Pembroke. But once I got there and a certain amount of time passed by, I understood why I was in Pembroke. So I do believe that's the same with this. However, I think no matter what, I'll always have these questions of why. But I think the further I go with my education and, being abroad and all that, the further the closer I'm getting to knowing what I want. And I think that's the ultimate goal, is knowing what you want to do with your life. So being in America the past 2 years has taught me that I absolutely don't want to live in America. It's kind of a shocker for a lot of friends because I've found ways to enjoy America a lot, and to be fair, being in Pembroke isn't the American, like isn't America, isn't not America. There's a lot of different Americas that you get based on which state, based on which city you're living in. But even when I did go out and about, when I went to California, I went to Washington D.C., Pennsylvania, Maine. I went to a couple of states, and even then I realized like I don't want to live in America. Actually, I realized I want to live in Lebanon. Eventually, I feel like being in your home country is is the best you'll ever get. And um it's just funny that I say this because I always thought you had to like move abroad and like live abroad and see what's out there. But the way I see it now is like go see what's out there but come back if you have the privilege to come back and if you have the opportunity to come back. Not a lot of people get the privilege or the opportunity. Um, some people it's like a danger issue, you know, like they can't go back to their country because it's too dangerous. And Lebanon is quite dangerous, but it's like it's livable, I think. But it also depends on the person. It also depends on what kind of job you have, what kind of field of work you're in. So me personally, I see myself being here ultimately, but I just gotta go through my education. I also want to do my master's and my PhD, so I think it's gonna be a while before I come back here. But until then, I just want to get these chances of travel and living in different countries. So I think that's my reason behind why I'm going to the UK now. But yeah, I guess we'll see how I feel when I'm there. Um, just to give some reflections on my summer in Lebanon and how it's been. I've I've been feeling really, really happy. Such a weird thing to say, but I hadn't felt happy in a long time. And I think it's not because I'm here that I'm happy, it's because of the person that I've become and being here. That is making me feel happy. Because you can be anywhere, but you make the experience what it is. So, last summer when I was here in Lebanon, genuinely there was a point where I was like counting the days to leave, just because of the things that I was going through emotionally, mentally, everything, life. But I think the person that I'm becoming now is just like so different, but in a good way. I think I'm growing so much, like emotionally. And I don't know, maybe it's my frontal lobe developing, getting closer to the age of 25. Maybe that's what it is. But I think what it really is uh, being willing to change, or being open to wanting to change for the better, like improve things about yourself and heal certain relationships with certain people. And that kind of frees you. And once you feel free in who you are and everything, like you feel fine. And at that point you're at this point of your life where things can be happening to you, but it's just like bouncing right off. It's like, I don't know, like, oh fuck, I lost my wallet. But because you're at this like emotional maturity, you're like, yeah, but I'll find it one day. It's fine. But whereas before, I would have crashed the fuck out. Um, I don't even have a wallet, by the way, so I don't really know what I'm saying. That was just the first example at the top of my head. I don't have a wallet? No, I don't have a wallet. I have a pouch where I put my cards, and then I have another pouch where I put my money. So I'm just a girl, you know? Like, I don't really have a wallet. Although, who said that wallet's just for, you know what? I'm gonna stop. Actually, I'm gonna stop. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like being who I am now in Lebanon is what's making my experience so amazing. I think also I love being on vacation mode. I love it because I don't have any expectations to be anywhere at a certain time, whatever. But at the same time, I used to also feel stressed out from not having anything to do. Because when you don't have anything to do, it's very easy to get like extremely bored and feel like you're such a loser. So, how do you fix that, right? So here's what I've learned is you gotta find things to do, but just the right amount of things that will keep you busy and not stress you out. So what I've done for myself is I've reached out a lot. Um, and I used to be somebody who hates reaching out, who hates being in social settings with people that I don't know, hates going up to people and like talking to strangers, but you gotta do that. You really gotta do that. And I think that's the biggest change that I've seen from the outside, like that is very like apparent to me, or is very visible to me, is that I'm way more willing to go up to people and like approach them and reach out for help when I want it or when I need it. And it takes you places. It really does. So, um, one thing I've done is like going to the Lebanese National Theater and volunteering for them. Um, I would say I haven't done much, but I've been there maybe like 5 or 6 times just to film stuff for them, like little short videos, and make little short videos for Instagram. I've also acted in one of their plays. But I think just being surrounded with a new group of people, that in of itself has given me so much. I feel like I have a new circle of friends. I feel like I have a new place of belonging, which is this theater. So it's really beautiful, and it's like it's always there. Like I can go whenever I want. It's always there. So it keeps me busy to a certain extent. Like once or twice a week I'll go down there, and it kind of takes up a couple hours of my day. Um Another thing is running. Um I think running has always been there, but there's a difference between running on your own and just by yourself, from running with a group or a team or a club for the sake of improving and helping the club. So recently I decided to start training again with a coach and a team. And it's actually like my old coach here in Lebanon. And I kind of want to just do these consistent but also light intensity trainings just to get myself back in that rhythm of like I have something that like a goal that I'm working towards to improve myself in running, because it's so beautiful to improve at running. Like it makes me happy, and it keeps me busy, you know. Again, maybe 3 or 4 times a week I'll go down for a training, and then the rest of the days of that week I'll be doing like little jogs on my own, keeping me busy. And then the third thing that I've been doing is my little hobby of writing. But instead of just like journaling on my own, I'm really trying to put my writing out there. And I discovered this writing club in Lebanon, and I discovered it through the coffee shop that I go to. So it took me keeping up with that coffee shop's Instagram to discover this writing club. And me discovering that writing club has motivated me to send out some of my writings to be published in their literary magazine. And in the past month, I've been back and forth emailing them about the two things that I want to publish. And actually, like right now, after they revised it, they sent it back to me, and I have to do these revisions and send it back to them so that they can publish it. And I just feel like doing something like that keeps you busy in such a healthy way. Like I'm kind of doing it on my own time, and it's so fun for me. Like this is something that brings me joy. So that's something that I've been doing. And then from time to time, I like to practice some photography, and I feel like photography comes with walking. So I can be by myself for 2 or 3 hours just walking on the street, taking photos, listening to music, and that experience is just beautiful. And um, a friend of mine recently gave me a film camera, so the practicing film photography is so fun, and it's kind of difficult, and it's taken me a while to get the hang of, and I'm still getting the hang of it. But I think there's no greater joy than sending out like your film for development. Like there's genuinely no greater joy of just waiting for it. And then once it's actually like there with you, it's just like so beautiful to see how each one turned out. And it's like you forget the photos that you took. So like opening them and seeing, it's just, it takes you back to that moment. And I don't know, something about film photography is just so like emotional in a way. Like each photo is so precious. Even if a lot of my photos end up being like terrible, but even those, it's like damn, like I thought this one was gonna be a good one, it turned out bad. And you think that the bad ones are gonna be bad, or you think that the good ones are gonna be bad, but they turn out good. So it's just such a fun experience. It's like a little game. Like, oh my god, like it's so surprising. So that's been keeping me busy as well. Um, and just family stuff, hanging out with friends every once in a while. So I feel like I'm busy to the perfect amount. Um, I have days where I'm like, damn, I've been out all day, every single day. Like I just want to be at the house and just not do anything, which is what I'm doing today. um, and it's such a difficult thing for me because I love being out and about. Even if I'm not with people, even if I don't have anything to do, I just need to go outside. That's kind of part of my personality. It's not something that like is difficult for me. Like I need to go outside. That's just how I am. So I realized like I just want a chill day where I'm at the house. So that's what I'm doing today because I haven't had that in a while. Um but yeah, I think I've been feeling happy. Of course, I have days of stress. I have days of like depression kind of finds a way to come into your life and remind you of it. Even when everything is going so well, like depression exists. And it's all about learning how to deal with it when it does come your way and remind you of it. um I have moments where I struggle with my insecurities, with my physical appearance, with my weight, and it's a constant challenge of like, okay, I need to positively like approach how I see my body, but at the same time, if I do wish to have like um what's it called, a healthier weight, um I can do that if I wanted to, as long as I'm doing it very cautiously and very mindfully. So all these things kind of creep in at times, and you have to know how to deal with them. And it's never gonna be perfect. That's what I've learned. But journaling has always been a great tool for me. So whenever I want to like lose weight, gain muscle, or whatever, um, I kind of have to keep a journal and write down like the kinds of food that I want to eat to make sure that I'm trying to stay healthy. And yeah, it's all about the ingredients at the end of the day. I try not to obsess way too much over the numbers, the nutritional value, the calories, and all that, because I've been there and it's been bad for me. It may work for some people, and for some people they need it. I don't need to stress the calories. I can kind of know things. For me, it's also a matter of my gut health. I have a very sensitive stomach, so it's a matter of like I'm eating these food because I genuinely need to have good gut health. So I've been taking probiotics, so I need to eat a lot of like fiber and prebiotics during the day. So I just need to be very aware of the kinds of food that I'm eating. And of course, you have moments where you're with other people and you want to like eat like shitty food, and so in those moments you just have to know like as long as you're doing that like maybe once a week, that's fine. So that's basically where I'm at. Um, I have so much more to say about mental health, but maybe we'll keep that for another video. What's it called? I just want to give some thoughts on YouTube. I'll make this really quick. Um, why YouTube? Why do I do YouTube? Okay, somebody asked me that the other day, or maybe it was brought up in a conversation, and I always think about that. Why am I doing this? Um, the reason I started is because I've been watching YouTube since I was a child, and it just always made me want to do it. Um, I wanted to do it for maybe 10 years, and those 10 years I never did it. I was way too scared and embarrassed. But now I finally got over that fear of embarrassment, and here I am doing it. But my YouTube channel hasn't been doing well. Like, it, I've had it for a year, and it's not successful at all. I don't have numbers, I don't have views, I don't have a good number of subscribers, nothing. I'm not even, like, what's it called? Obviously, I'm not making money, but it's just like, why do it if you're not gonna do it the best that you can do it, right? Because I'm the one who's not putting in the effort to have those numbers, because truly you decide the numbers that you want to get. I'm not like spending hours editing videos. I don't even have a consistent posting schedule. I just post whenever I feel like it. So it's like, what's the point of having a YouTube channel if you're not gonna like really take it seriously or whatever? And honestly, the answer to that question is, um, I do it because it's a way of therapy for me. It's a way of coping for me, and I also do it um, for the memories. I like to look back and see what I was going through and the kind of person that I was. And I do it because it's a way of talking to a community and finding a community and allowing people to relate to you and having this kind of relationship with an audience that you don't really know, um, and helping them in ways that you don't know you are helping, because that's what YouTube has been for me as somebody who's been the audience. Is like, I sit there and I watch it, and I just feel so inspired from hearing what people are doing or hearing their stories. So I think that's ultimately what it's for. Um, I think my audience is honestly my friends or just anyone who's just in this age group going through this like constant midlife crisis of like, not even midlife, but like quarter life crisis of like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm gonna be okay. And I think mental health is such a big thing, and I think that's the main theme of my videos, is just like, make sure you're talking about what you're going through. So I think if I'm talking about something that is so embarrassing for someone to talk about, they're gonna look at it and they're gonna be like, oh, that's how simple it is, and that's how easy it is to say it, to talk it out, to communicate it. So maybe I can do the same. And maybe not necessarily in a version of a video, but maybe just to a friend or whatever. So I think ultimately I want to inspire people to just talk about those emotions that they might be afraid to talk about, because I'm not special. Nobody is special at the end of the day. We're all going through this shit together. We're all in this bitch. So we might as well help each other. And I think YouTube is a way of that. YouTube is a version of that. But there's so many versions. And each person has a certain role in their life. So each person flourishes more in whatever version they want to use, if that makes sense. YouTube is something that is like not really my strong suit. Honestly, I don't think I'm good at YouTube, but I think I've learned to be very comfortable on camera. I'm able to talk for a very long time, as you can see. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do YouTube. I've cursed way too many times on this video. I really should stop cursing. But yeah, I think that's all I want to say for today. Hopefully I'll see you for another video. Bye guys. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please subscribe and help this channel out. On the topic of no success on YouTube, I really don't care about how famous I get or how popular I get, but I get really happy when people do comment, subscribe, and like. So if you want to make me happier, just help a girl out. But yeah, bye guys, see ya.